Chap. Alright. Now, just listen. Neo, the spoon, reality, him bending objects. You can do that too. I mean, I'm doing it right now. Not in a physical expression, maybe what you've known to look at, because you know to look at something of that caliber with your eyes and not your mind. But in order to do something of that sort, you have to use your mind and not your eyes, because we can see it and perceive it through the reality that we know as movies. We understand it to be something that is physical because of the ending of it being physical, not understanding that it starts first mentally. It took me a while to get here, and I'm gonna try to break this down as simple as possible, because it is very simple, but you might not understand it because you might not be exactly where you, and this is no shade, but things that people can't conceptualize means that they aren't ready for it. So like, if I'm explaining something to you and you're just not understanding it, or you're just not getting it, don't beat yourself up for not getting it because you're not there yet, which is okay, because perhaps maybe your journey is somewhere else where I'm not there yet, and you can be able to convey yourself and have a understanding within inside of yourself to be able to spread that message in your own way somewhere else that I might not be over there. You get what I'm saying? So I'm over here to spread a message. You are Neo. You might not be able to, let's not even say that, because you can. You know how Neo bent the spoon but with his mind, and it showed in the reality? You can do the same thing. Sounds crazy, but it's not. It's not at all. And let me just explain it to you. So depending on who you are depends on what spoon you see. So let's just say everybody's objectively true reality, right? That everybody understands. That is the regular spoon. A regular spoon, right? But for you to be able to bend that spoon in a physical expression isn't to literally do it, but to change who you are for it to bend itself. You might be like, what the fuck? Like, how does that even make sense? Let me break it down to you. People do it every single day. I want to use something that kind of illustrates something that you can compare yourself to. I was going to use trading, but let's just use smoking. I recently stopped smoking, not because I wanted to. Yeah, I did think that it wasn't the best option for me, but because of who I understood me to be, it just naturally happened. It wasn't something that I forced. It was something of who I am. So because of who I am, it naturally, you get what I'm saying? It naturally happened. I bent the reality, which I was once a smoker, that straight spoon, right, that people can relate to, but because then who I became changed in time. I was in a specific timeline of a smoker. I changed who I was. That allowed me to go to a different timeline where things are completely different, a completely different reality. Yes, the world is still the same around me, but because of who I am over here, my perspective changed. A lot of the yes and no's that I used to say changed. Yes, do I want to smoke? When I was living over here, do you want to smoke? Of course I do. I'm over here now. Do you want to smoke? No, I don't. Actually, my reality changed. My decision changed. Who I was changed. The object changed. The spoon that once was straight over here, because I came over here, different reality, different time zone, different decisions, different Isaiah, the spoon bent. That's how you're Neo. Not because you can physically change and bend anything to your will, but because of who you allow yourself to be in your life. Like, I hope that kind of makes sense. Um, I can give you another example. I'm trying to think of just examples, but you do it daily. Um, the best example and the best advice I can give to you is understanding who you are. When you are trying to figure out who you are, it's kind of like watching TV. You're changing the channel every single time. And think about it. Think about it like this. You're the TV, but the channels on the TV is different yous. It's channel 1, you're a smoker. Channel 2, you're not a smoker. Channel 3, you're a millionaire. Channel 4, you're not a millionaire. Channel 5, you're emotional. You're trying to figure out what channel you want to watch. So every single time you switch the channels, you're entering different realities, because over here you're mad, over here you're sad, over here you're a smoker, over here you're not, over here the spoon is straight, over here the spoon isn't, over here the spoon is swiggly, over here the spoon isn't swiggly. That's how it works. In order for you to continue to receive and to continue to get the delayed gratification of which you may feel like you deserve, you have to pick a channel and watch it and continue to watch the whole movie. But if you continue to switch channels each and every time you feel like it, it's like me saying I want to be a YouTuber, but then the next day, because I say I want to be a YouTuber, but I don't follow a specific structure of the YouTuber I want to be, or if I'm not identifying with a YouTuber, I'm not getting up every single morning making videos, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Yes, you are a YouTuber, but you may not be the specific YouTuber that you want to be, because you haven't decided which channel you want to be. So because of that, you're steady flipping to different realities, you're steady flipping to different moded objects, different moded realities that already exist in time, because it's not like you're creating these channels. These channels already exist. All you're doing is flipping to them. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like time changes. It's not like any of this shit changes, because they already exist. You just have to pick the channel that you want. And depending on the channel that you choose depends on if you stay consistent with it. And if you do stay consistent with it, then you're going to seek the results of that channel. But to understand that that is the bending of the reality, you have to understand that. Understand that you are Neo. By choice or not by choice. But to understand is to be awoke, or awoken, or woke, as people say, I guess. I don't like using that term, because I don't think necessarily I am woke. I'm just aware. I am me. I don't like to be awoke. I like being me. And I have the choice of being anything and anyone I want with inside of me. And with that understanding is how I am able to bend objects and bend my reality, because me bending my reality is me bending objects, me bending perspective, me bending reality, me bending decisions, me bending my life. Stay consistent. I love y'all.